Hi, I'm Vanessa from RTINGS.com, and welcome to another video on our audio channel. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a product that you, our users, voted for us to buy, the Technics EAH-AZ80 True Wireless. Given the overwhelming interest in these earbuds, we had no choice but to put them through their paces. Technics are a brand you might have heard before, but not necessarily in the headphones or earbud space. Maybe you've seen a dusty bookshelf speaker at your cool aunt's place that sports the Technics logo? Or perhaps your favorite vinyl DJ uses the brand's legendary turntables to scratch, spin, and weave dance floor magic. There's no doubt that this Japanese manufacturer has a storied past that's rooted in creating high-quality audio products for the hi-fi crowd. So, how does this translate to the AZ80, which entered the highly competitive premium wireless earbud market in 2023? This is a market space that chews up would-be contenders and pretenders to the throne, currently occupied by marquee earbuds like the Sony WF-1000XM5 and the Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra earbuds. To compete, a $300 pair of buds have to sound like $1 million and have great noise cancelling to boot. So, how do they stack up? When it comes to design, these buds aren't winning any awards for innovation, but they do certainly look slick. They feature a beveled teardrop design that's similar to the Sony XM5. Their familiar Technics logo is embossed in gold on the outer surface, which is where you'll be inputting the controls. There are two distinguished colorways available too, black and silver. They come with 7 differently sized pairs of silicone ear tips to suit a variety of ear shapes. While they don't come with any foam tips like the XM5, the silicone tips are definitely capable of providing a comfortable fit and tight seal. Do they isolate you from the external noise as well as the Sony's foam tips? Now, that's a question for later on. As I mentioned earlier, there's a touch-sensitive surface on the outside of each bud that's used to input vital controls, like skipping the interludes on your favorite album, or declining yet another call from a persistent insurance salesperson. While the controls take some time getting used to, they're not as complicated as those we've found on other earbuds, where you often wonder if you're inputting commands or Morse code. While these buds are primarily marketed as everyday lifestyle earbuds, that doesn't necessarily mean they can't get you through a Sunday morning jog round the block. They're sturdily built with an IPX4 rating that will protect them against rain. Plus, they form a stable fit in your ear, so it'll take more than a few burpees to dislodge them. They come with a high-quality case too, which can store an additional 2 charges to complement their roughly 7-hour battery life with ANC on. This case makes it a breeze to store them in a bag or pocket and ensures that no bud gets left behind. Now, connectivity is one of the areas in which these buds really stand out from the crowd. One of their major selling points is the inclusion of a 3-way Bluetooth multipoint, which means you can stay connected to 3 devices at a time. 3 devices? You might say that's way too many. Chances are you already have 3 devices in your ecosystem. And this feature will let you seamlessly switch between any combination of work or personal computers, phones, smartwatches, or Bluetooth-equipped TVs. As you'd expect from truly wireless earbuds, you can only connect them via Bluetooth. That said, they're compatible with both the default SBC codec and LDAC for high-resolution audio streaming. Just be aware that enabling LDAC will diminish the battery life quite a bit and limit the number of devices that you can stay connected to. This is real high bandwidth stuff we're talking about here, so it'll prioritize quality over quantity. The latency is pretty high using either codec, so you're likely to notice some lip sync issues if you use these buds for video content. Different apps and devices compensate for this differently though, so trial and error is your best friend. Now, of course, everything we've mentioned so far is worthless if these buds sound like those things handed out by flight attendants before takeoff. Fortunately, the Technics' sound profile is closer to first class than coach. They have a sound that's both warm and detailed, with a very slight boost in the high bass that can help nudge the bassline to the forefront without making them sound bloated. This extends to the mid-range, where a slightly tilted response adds some thwack and presence to toms and snares, so you can really air drum to Phil Collins. The treble accuracy is slightly less consistent as the lower part of the range is a little underemphasized. This results in some loss of richness in vocals and lead instruments. There's a bit of a bump in the mid-treble though, that can add some harshness to sibilants like cymbals. You have an arsenal of sound customization features available to you via the companion app too, so you can take advantage of the graphic EQ and presets or even make a custom EQ. Sadly, they lack the spatial audio or virtual soundstage feature found in competitors like the Sony XM5 or Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra. Given that these earbuds, like many others, lack an immersive and open soundstage, this might have been a nice to have, but you can't have it all. Often, it's the noise isolation performance that can act as a tiebreaker between top-tier in-ears. So, do the Technics have what it takes to block out the noise of the competition? In short, yes. While they lack the degree of passive isolation that's achieved by the Sony XM5, the ANC system in the Technics does some serious heavy lifting. In the bass range especially, they do a great job of blocking out sounds like engine rumble, so you can enjoy your tunes in relative peace. The ANC does less in the mid and treble range, which is where the Sony's foam tips come in handy. But it's still enough to block out everything from blaring car horns to fridge hum. Overall, the noise isolation is almost on par with the Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra earbuds, an impressive feat for a relative newcomer in the earbud game, especially considering that Bose has been fine-tuning their noise-canceling tech for well over a decade now. As with other premium buds, the Technics let you adjust the ANC via the app and blend in ambient sound from the mics, so you can decide how much of the outside world you can tolerate.
These buds are also more than capable of being used for phone calls. Their mic's recording quality isn't anything groundbreaking. Your voice sounds both a little thin and muffled, but you'll still be understandable to whoever's on the other end. It also does a decent job of separating your voice from moderately noisy backgrounds, like a cafe or a restaurant, but it struggles to maintain speech clarity in environments noisier than that.
But the real question, should you buy them? These buds have flown under the radar for a while, perhaps eclipsed by marketing solar systems of big players like Bose and Sony. But upon reviewing them, it's clear that they have a solid claim to the best premium wireless earbuds. They're extremely good all-rounders with a balanced musical default sound profile, great ergonomics, and an ANC system that can really make a difference on long journeys and commutes. When it comes to their default sound profile, there's not much to split the three-way race between Technics, Bose, and Sony, but there are a couple differences in noise isolation performance. The Technics lack the passive isolation in the treble range that's provided by the Sony XM5's foam ear tips, and the finely tuned full range isolation provided by the Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra. But if you're not too concerned about hermetically sealing yourself off from the world, the Technics do a fine job. If you're a fan of spatial audio and head tracking features though, you might want to look at Bose or Sony instead, as this is something that the AZ80s lack. Much like with their hi-fi line of products, it's clear that the brand has a discerning consumer in mind when manufacturing their headphones. They do everything from A to Z with a few extra tricks up their sleeve. So if features like Bluetooth 3-way multipoint and LDAC support are important to you, these might just take the cake. That's it for our review of the Technics EAH-AZ80. Check out our website's written review to read more about these headphones. There's a link in the description box below. Until next time, I'm Vanessa from Ratings.com, where we help you find the best products for your needs. Goodbye. Like skipping the interludes on your favorite album, or declining yet another call from a persistent insurance salesperson. Fortunately, the Technics